All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Notary Titans. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. My name is Bill Soroka. I'm the founder of NotaryCoach.com and author of 4 best-selling books about how to grow your notary business. I'm here with a very special co-host today. In addition to our regular host, Laura. Laura is going to be here. She's just running a little bit late as she's teaching notaries in the great state of California. My co-host today, or our co-host today, though, is none other than Susie Sivkoff from the National Notary Association. Susie, welcome and thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure. I was here last week and I just needed more. It's awesome.
You can't
It's
just,
great.
it's like a potato chip. You can't just have one.
I know.
You got to
Yeah.
come back for more. Well, we're excited to have you here. And this is an exciting opportunity for you as notaries around the country. We've got looks like about 80 notaries on the call today. We'll probably get up just over 100. This is a great opportunity for you to connect with each other in the chat. You can also ask your questions of experts in the field. And it's not just me and Laura and Susie. This can also be all the other notaries who have started to figure things out in the course of their career. And you can share that wisdom, that knowledge in the chat. Is that chat even on? Has nobody said anything in that chat yet? Can we introduce each other? I think that's a first in history. Heather Crawford, look at that. Lake Havasu representing. She got it in there. Say hi, tell everybody where you're from. Use this opportunity to connect with each other and share your perspective and your experience in today's call. All right, so the way this works, Tuesday Notary Titans is like an old-fashioned call-in radio show, but we're on video. And we can, so what we're gonna do is use the raise hand feature in Zoom. That could be in a number of different places depending on the device. Just use the raise hand feature. We will call on you. Please be as direct and concise with your question as possible. Definitely include what state you are hailing from, so because that might impact the answer. And then you can mute out. And we will give you an answer. We'll give you some resources, or we'll ask you deeper questions to get a better understanding of what you're trying to do. Also, just want to give a shout out to Jennifer Cooper, who's on today's call. She is going to be our hall monitor. She is monitoring mute. She's on mute patrol, and she's going to be letting people in from the waiting room. Plus, she's really good, wink, wink, Jen, at adding links into the chat whenever we mention them. So you may see her answering some questions and adding some resources there for you. All right, let's do this. I want to kick off though, because today is the very last day of a very special promotion that the National Notary Association is running for their summit. And I want to invite Susie up real quick. Not real quick. I mean, take as much time as you want, Susie, to tell us about the upcoming fall NNA Success Summit and what that promotion is today.
Cool, cool. So our Success Summit is something we've been offering ever since the pandemic. We noticed, that notaries wanted that extra connection and more. They were hungry for more information, and so we started the Success Summit to offer a platform to bring in experts to, kind of update everybody on what was happening in the industry, be it COVID or the housing market, remote notarization. So it just, kind of took off, and it was something that was well received, and so we've kept it going. We do at least 2 or 3 a year, depending on what kind of demand we feel like there is, and we have one coming up October 19th. So October 19th is a Thursday, and it's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And our guests are just incredible. I mean, we've always had amazing guest speakers, but this time I'm bringing in my absolute favorites. And yes, I do have favorites. So Bill Soroka, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, and Laura Biewer and Jen Neitzel will be speaking on some very pertinent topics. I know that some of you have noticed that the loan signing business isn't quite as strong as it was a couple of years ago or even a year ago. And so and I thought, who better to talk about other opportunities in the notary world than the authors of Beyond Loan Signings and how to get that extra special notary work. And so we're really excited to host Bill, Laura, and Jen to bring you 3.5 hours, 3 hours plus Q&A of just great information. And then we're going to talk about our new directory, Find a Notary, because we have a lot of questions about that as well. And all of that is happening October 19th. I do have some good news. Today was the last day for early bird pricing, but they've extended it to the 30th, to the end of the month, because
Nice.
we have enough people that are interested, and I love especially the idea of making it more accessible for more people. And so we hope to see you there.
I think you extended it just so you get a chance to be on TNT for one more week.
Heck yes. I'm
True.
just gonna I'm gonna like be postponing the summit every month. You're gonna be like, Susie, why do you keep doing this? I'm like, because then I get to come on TNT again.
I
So,
love it. Well,
yes, I got so excited about TNT, Bill. I have to tell you, I had a meeting right before this, and after that meeting, I was just kind of like zombie mode. So I thought I'm gonna grab some lip gloss real quick and like freshen up. So I went to my daughter's makeup bag because it was closer, and I dug out what looked like a clear, glossy, applicator, and I put it on. I'm like, this doesn't seem right, and I realized it was a brow gel and not. So if my lips like get all like frozen in time, it's because I have brow gel.
Oh,
what
nice.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share. Comic relief. Everybody can appreciate.
I had no idea there was even anything called a brow gel. So now I'm fascinated by that. And
Right?
I'm glad we're recording because I can't wait to see what happens there.
I know, right?
Thank you, Susie, and thank you for the opportunity with the NNA. We are so excited about that. And of course, links are, if you're just watching the replay and you can't see the chat, it's nationalnotary.org /NBB. NBB for Notary Business Builder. Awesome. And
Excited to have you guys.
we're so excited to be there, of course. That gave us plenty of time. Speaking of which, Laura Biewer is in the house, skidding
Hey,
inside
Laura.
here 100%. Hey, Laura.
Hello, everyone. So glad I could join you. If it's possible that there's somebody on this call that doesn't know who I am, I'm Laura Biewer, and I am co-author of the latest bestseller called Beyond Loan Signings: How to Monetize Your Commission Through Specialty Work. And I'm also one of the creators of Notary Business Builder, and I am excited to be with you today.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you made it. Okay, let's jump into some questions. Now, I know we have two hands up. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Yvette, for your patience. We're going to get to your questions right now. That's only two questions, though. And we've got 45 minutes. So if you have any questions for marketing your business, growing your business, building client relationships, how to navigate and apply notary rules in your state. If you have questions, I mean, you've got, I don't even want to count the years of experience on today's call between Susie and Laura. I don't have as much. But they've got, I think they both, are you celebrating like 20 years in the industry, Laura, 21, and Susie's been at the NNA for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've only been around for 10 or 11 years. So, I mean, that's a lot of experience on one call. So let's get those hands up so we have plenty of questions for everyone today. All right, Ann Weaver, thank you so much for being here. What state are you in and how can we help?
I have to say good afternoon. I'm in Simi Valley, California. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
I have ear things on. I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for bringing this here. And I'm so thankful that I found you. I was taking my research certification in Chatsworth, like August 18th or something. My commission expires in December. So I was getting ahead of the expiration. And I went into the bookstore and I purchased a few of your books. And the gentleman behind the counter goes, "Hey, they have a call every Tuesday at noon." I'm like,
What?
okay. So I jumped on and I haven't stopped. I've been here and your emails keep coming and I'm just so excited. And I wish I would have found you 4 years ago when I
Awesome.
first got my commission. So I'm a 34-year veteran of real estate. So I'm a realtor, but I just got my notary. As I get older, I want to do other things and grow my business in so many different spectrums. But just thank you so much for doing this and all your expertise. And just wanted to say thank you. And I'm trying to get through all your books and so much information, and it's just been fantastic. But I've learned so much in the last 30 days than I have like the whole 4 years that I've had
Wow. All right.
So just thank you. That's all I want to say. And I did rush last night and sign up for $49 for the summit. So I am all signed up, but I just
Awesome.
want to say thank you. Love your books, love you guys, and just enjoy being here. So just thank you.
So kind of you. Thank you for popping in. Thanks for being here, and thanks for saying so. I really appreciate that. And I'd love to shake the hand of that bookstore guy who knows that TNT is happening. That's amazing.
I
Yeah,
think it was
James.
probably James.
James Berry.
He
Yeah.
is just,
Bill, he's
Oh.
MBB.
yes.
Yeah,
And
he's very nice. He's a good
He's
guy.
a gem. He's a good human for sure. Love
At
him.
the NNA bookstore.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Chatsworth. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now
Give him a call. Give him a call.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day.
That's so cool. All right. Thank you,
That's
Ann.
great,
Appreciate
Ann.
you being here. All right, Yvette, thank you for your patience. If you'd like to unmute, tell us what state you're in and how we can help.
I'm from New Jersey, and yes, a lot of patience right now with the state of New Jersey. I've been on hold for like an hour and 35 minutes waiting for the Division of Revenue and Enterprise. I had questions because I have to renew my license, and it says that I need a notary endorsement from a legislator. So I chose the senator, and then they give you the address and phone number, and I wasn't quite sure what that meant. And then the other questions that were on the renewal application, because you have to read a manual first. That's part of your continuing ed. They said that's one way you can satisfy your continuing ed, by reading the New Jersey Notary Public Manual. I did that, and then you have to complete an application. So on the application, they asked me to select a legislator, and then they asked me, am I going to do remote and electronic notarization? And if you click yes, they ask for the remote notarization opt-in date and a description of the technology used. And then the other question was electronic notarization opt-in. Do you intend to conduct electronic notarization? And they asked for the remote notarization opt-in date and a description of the technology used. I anticipate using it, but I have no idea what any of that means.
Yeah, good question. So I'm curious, Laura or Susie, do you have just a best practice for a notary who's not yet sure, probably doesn't even have the technology, right, Yvette? But you know
Correct.
that at some point you're going to want to do it. Is there a best practice that you've encountered for this situation, Susie?
I'm not sure what the New Jersey review process is for the application. Most likely you wouldn't even be approved for remote online notarization until you've submitted the technology that you plan to use. They usually have a list of the technology vendor options. And what that means is it's somebody that you're signing up with to use their platform for your remote online notary work. It's the place that you're going to purchase your digital certificate, which is like your electronic signature and your digital stamp. So so most likely you'd have to opt out of that for now until you are able to provide the information for the vendor that that you plan to use.
And so, thank you for that. What about the notary endorsement? What does that mean? I'm not quite sure what that means.
I'll be honest, the way that I know that is it Pennsylvania and Florida, there are a couple states where when you apply, when you submit your application through the NNA, they submit to get that sign off for you, that endorsement. It's basically like a kind of a character endorsement to say that, you know, that you have the kind of almost like a background screening, but not quite. Laura, can you expand on that?
Can I interject here something? This is Donna Brock, and I'm in Florida.
Uh-huh.
So I did sign up for that within Florida, and for the most part, you are correct as far as the fact that that comes through the process of actually signing up. You do have to sign up with a platform
Yep.
in your state as far as you know, and you have to have all that information to be able to provide when you actually get the RON certification, or not necessarily certification, but ability to do that and get approved by the state. So I had to have all that information together before I actually sent along with my application to the state to be approved to do the RON. So you get your electronic signature, you get your endorsement, all of that is included as part of the application process and providing that to the state.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. And since we're talking about that, we just have to also say that every state's different. So you might have a different process in that event on that too. So Laura, if you could just touch on the legislature endorsement.
Really, I don't have anything to add, because without me looking it up specifically to see what it is they want, I you know, it's not something I would have at the top of my fingertips today. So my recommendation is either it's on their website. Sometimes the NNA has some of those procedures when it comes to electronic or remote, the application process. I've seen us have that there, but without actually looking at that state-specific procedure step by step, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't want to steer you wrong. But an endorsement, that word just, when I see endorsement, I think a signature. It's a sign off on you, and that's where I'd start. But I would have to look that up. And so Yvette, I recommend that that's what you do.
Perfect.
So are you recommending I go to NNA and talk to them about it?
Well, what I'm saying is that on NNA's website, they have information for remote online, and they have it in the states that have it, which now is most of them. And I've seen information there about the application process. Now, they may not have the details that are on the application, just that you have to apply. You're probably going to get the detail that you're looking for. You're going to need to go to your own state's. Is it Department of Revenue for you?
Department of the Treasury Division of Revenue
Treasury
and
Division?
Enterprise.
Yeah, a notary division within that to get each step and to know what each one is.
Yes, I'm on the phone with them for almost an hour and 45 minutes. So
Well, you
hopefully
might
they'll
be,
pick up. My
it'll be
test
a
of
little
patience.
while.
Hmm?
California, Yvette, in California, I've had notaries tell me they're on the phone for 3 hours
Oh, okay.
waiting. So,
Yeah, so this isn't bad at all, Yvette.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
and the other thing is too, and so sometimes especially if you've already been commissioned, you might skip over the part in that handbook that you just read that goes over the application requirements, and it might be in that. Although I'll tell you, New Jersey's kind of notorious for not having a lot of information available, so it may not be there as well.
That is correct.
So
Thank you.
you're so welcome.
Hi,
right.
can I interject? It's Lisa, and I'm a notary in New Jersey.
Sure,
And
Lisa.
I may be able to assist. I've been a notary for over 30 years. And every time your application has to go for renewal, you have to find a legislator in your county that will sign on your behalf. It's not a really big deal. Usually you can go to, you know, your congressman.
Lisa, we lost you. All right, we lost Lisa, or we lost me. Hopefully I'm still here. Am I still here?
We still
Susan?
hear you, Bill. Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
just posted, the NNA has some resources on the specific application process on their website. So I just posted that link.
Beautiful and
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much for chiming in, Lisa. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing your experience and perspective. All right, let's get over to Andrea Madison. Thank you for being here. Unmute, tell us what state you're in and how we can help.
Hi, I'm in the state of Oregon, and I wanted to know if there's another package type opportunity for notaries, like the estate planning packages that are presented. Is there another package that notary or that lawyers present, maybe in a different segment of law?
Ooh, great question. Laura, what's your experience with that as far as bundled packages?
I will say that I do all kinds of work for attorneys, criminal law, injury, personal injury law, family law, which is adoptions, divorce decrees, and it's not the big package like you see with the trust. However, it may be a couple of documents. But even still, if I am traveling to that appointment and I am leading that appointment without the attorney, and then notarizing it, I have a bundled price for all of that.
That's
Gotcha.
excellent. And
Okay.
so I love that you mentioned international adoptions too, or the adoption process, Andrea. That's another one that even if it's not a bundle per se, like all the documents at once, there's usually multiple appointments that can make those pretty lucrative. And then also with the injury attorneys too, I've been hearing from a lot of notaries across the country with personal injury attorneys, because there's usually multiple doctor visits, other types of documents that have to be notarized. So those can be, if not the traditional loan signing or estate plan, there's it can be a more lucrative opportunity.
Yeah,
Okay.
those personal injury ones, I do the claim releases, and it's about 10 or 12 pages long. It's not that big a package, but I do have to collect signatures. I notarize, I think only on one or two of them. I'm printing those 12 pages. I'm traveling to that person. So for that reason, I bundle that as a price.
Thank you very much. I wasn't looking for a lot of papers to print, so this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. And that's what's kind of cool about the estate plan, or specifically the living trust appointments. Because even though some of those are that can get pretty thick,
Yeah.
you are usually not responsible for printing.
Cool.
It's all printed ahead of time.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Thank you for being here. All right, excellent. Congratulations, Teresa Hicks. Laura, Teresa says she's been hanging around TNT for a while. She just finally joined NBB. Welcome, Teresa. Glad to have you here. Carla, welcome. I know you're in California, so how can we help?
Hi, Bill. Hi, Laura. And thank you very much, Sue, because this might probably help for these questions that I have. Well, I know that, well, you already know that I'm in California. What are the procedures of possibly moving to Sparks, Nevada, being a notary there? Should I, obviously, I will have to get, be a commission in Sparks, Nevada. What are the steps? Should I get application again and do my training again in there, or would it be, can you give me some suggestions of what needs to be done?
Sure.
I think I'm sorry, Laura, I was going to say, let's break it into sections. Like there's this real logistical, practical one. So you want to start there?
Well, we're going to start with, you'll have to give up the commission you have in California, because when you move over there, California doesn't share well. When you're not a resident here, you can't be. So you'll want to make sure that you turn in your journals. You want to make sure that you destroy your seals. You want to make sure that if the commission isn't over, that you issue a letter of resignation to the Secretary of State. So those are the three things to close out what you have here. Then I recommend, and the NNA does have this, what are the steps to get a commission in Nevada? And you can follow those steps right on our site regarding how you apply and what you need to do exactly. So I recommend you can go two places. One is you can go to the Secretary of State for Nevada, but I haven't, what do you call it? Thank you. The person who posted that, Become a Notary is the page that you want on the NNA website, and we will tell you all the steps that you need to take to become a notary in Nevada.
Now, should I turn in my commission first, or can I do this simultaneously? and
You
apply
cer-
their,
Yeah, you certainly can find what the steps are, but you're going to need information before that you may or may not have before you get to Nevada to do that.
okay,
So yeah, you could get that thing started, and whatever you have, just look at the steps, and whatever you can do, you can do. But as soon as you're no longer physically here in California, you need to do that resignation. Now, I
okay,
don't know how Nevada feels. If you're still living here, they may not let you apply yet over there.
okay.
It depends
Alright,
on if Nevada requires residency like California does.
Which I
okay,
think they do, but I'm not gonna, don't hold me to that. But I
Yeah.
did post a link so that you could check out Nevada's requirements and the step-by-step process for you there,
There you
Carla.
go.
thank you, Laura. What about being a certified loan signing? Do I have to get certified again for loan signing or would be?
No, that's a national certification. So it doesn't matter what state you're in, it's going to be good. Just make sure when you do move that if you're a member of the NNA that you update your information with us and your NSA profile.
And that would be the same thing for being certified, a certification for the Living Trust, because I'm certified for the Living Trust also.
Yeah, that doesn't matter what state you're in either.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that brings us to the second part of the whole thing, Carla, is there's the legislative or the
Yeah.
protocol that you have to follow, but then there's the whole branding, marketing, and your online visibility that you have to worry about. So depending on your own situation, you know, if you when you're ready to stop doing business in California, or you have to stop doing business in California, you want to start updating all of your online profiles. So your NAP, your name, address, phone number is all lined up through all of your online profiles, all of your certifications. Everything has your new address, including your Google business profile, because you're going to have to, like, that's a huge, it can be a hit in some
Yeah.
perspectives, right? Because everything's changing. You might have to start a new one here or that. So that's a whole other phase. But you have to start building that into your plan as well.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
so
you,
welcome.
both of you. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
you're welcome.
Laura, also.
And Sparks is like one of the fastest growing cities in the West too. So there's a lot of opportunity I hear happening there as well.
Thank you.
All right. Congrats on your move. All right. Oh, thank you, Jen. I was just going to post that. There it is. We got the Success Summit link, nationalnotary.org/NBB. If you want to join us on October 19th, full day seminar with Laura, Jen Knightson, me, and Brandon. Thank you. Yeah, a full day summit. And Susie, what's the price point on that right now?
$49.
$49.
$49. Usually it's $79. It's a really great price break. So
That's almost 50%.
I know it thrills me. I love that.
Me too.
I want to keep it there.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's make some calls. Ina Jackson in Texas. Thank you for posting that, your state there. You want to unmute? Tell us how we can help.
Yes. Hey guys, good afternoon. So in the past couple weeks or a few weeks, I've gone through and gone ahead and gotten set up to do Ron. So now that I've gotten everything in place, now I'm looking to find that work. Are there particular websites or platforms or companies out there that I should be registering with to try to, start capturing some of that work?
Great question. And I'm glad you asked it. In which, do you mind if I ask what platform you're on?
Blue Notary and Notarize so far.
Okay, great. So you're on two and you're independent, meaning you're responsible for driving your own business. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. And the cool thing is, I mean, it's cool and it can also be frustrating, is your clients, whether you are remote online notary or you are in physical person notary, they're all coming from the same place. It's going to be your online visibility and your relationships. So if you haven't done so already, make sure all of your online profiles on all the directories. You should have a directory on every free directory that you can possibly have. Plus, there are a few paid directories that make sense and will give you a return on your investment. You want to make sure that you're updated for your remote online. You want to use verbiage on all of your online profiles, Google Business Profile, all those other profiles, your Facebook, your social media, everything that customers are going to use. Don't use remote online notary. Most customers are not searching for a remote online notary. That's our lingo. They're looking for online notaries. They're looking for virtual notaries. They're looking for other words that you can search for. And luckily, there's tools that will help you identify that. But that's what you want to update your online visibility with, so they can find you when they need you. And then when it comes to relationships, there are certain industries, companies, certain, even in estate planning, there's some attorneys who have really adopted the virtual notary. So you can identify them and just cultivate relationships too. One of the traps for Ron has been that, I mean, we're always looking for easy, right? We all just want it to be easy. We just want to put up our little sign that says Ron Notary, and then the phone's just going to be ringing all day. It just doesn't happen that way. So that you have to still build in an outreach program to reach out to those clients that are utilizing Ron's services and cultivate relationships with them. Laura, Susie, anything that you would add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the importance of being on all those online profiles, Google Business Profile. Anybody that wants a remote online notarization is going to look by Googling, basically, you know, and like you said, they won't say remote online notarization. They'll say something like, I need a document notarized and I'm in whatever state, you know, or country or whatever. I need a document notarized without face-to-face, or I don't know. But you got to think about what the customer is going to actually look for.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Laura, anything that you'd add to that?
No, I think everything you guys said was fine. I don't have that until 2030.
I know, right? It's crazy.
2030, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, California has been behind on the remote online notarization train, and they finally passed a law that'll be enacted in 2030, 7 years from now.
Unless they decide to extend it.
Right.
Which they can. Just randomly decide that. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, but the I'm so glad that you brought that question up, Ina. And here's what's important. The important takeaway is don't silo yourself off. Your situation, no matter what state you're in, Ron or not, it's not unique or special. You're not going to be able to just, like I said, put that sign up and wait for the calls to come. You've got to work the business. And the cool thing about having Ron as a tool in your tool belt, right, is that it's just another way for you to service your clients. You still have to get out there. You're still going to have to do online visibility. You're still going to cultivate relationships. I have yet to find anyone who has found scalable success and sustainable success that way. We thought some of the Ron platforms were going to do it, but they're suffering right now because it was all technology and no relationship. So it's still the biggest opportunity we have is that we are who we are. And we bring that to the table. So we get online visibility and we get the relationship piece. So marry those two and you get success. Cynthia in Texas. Well, that's super clear. Cynthia's in Texas. How can we help?
Good afternoon. So my question is, I'm trying to figure out on the living wills that we do here. Texas law requires a living will to be signed in the presence of 2 witnesses, but then I've also seen something that said it has to be notarized by a notary or signed in the presence of 2 witnesses. So I'm trying to find out what's right.
Excellent. I'm going to bring Laura up for this one. Laura, what's your suggestion for a notary in this situation?
So two things. One, for everybody to be sure you know the difference between a living will and a last will. That's the first thing that's important really for everybody to get a handle on. A living will is more like a healthcare directive, whereas a last will is for after you're gone. The second thing is that most states, not all of them, but most say it can be 2 witnesses or 1 notary. That's what most states allow for those living wills or healthcare directives. And you can, of course, take direction from the document, let the document speak to you. If you see there's only a place for 2 witnesses and no notary, notarizing it is probably an add-on to the 2 witnesses. And you need to have a conversation with your signer that says, hey, this document's been set up for 2 witnesses, not for a notary. And I can certainly notarize it if you'd like, but I would need to know what kind you want, and I need to know whose signatures you would want me to notarize. Like, is it just you, the principal, or is it your witnesses, or is it all 3 of you? So when you don't have enough direction, then you need to have a conversation so that you understand better. And in Georgia, I would have to look to verify for your particular state, but I believe you are 2 witnesses or 1 notary. And so sometimes they won't go the 2 witness route because they either don't have anybody to be witnesses, or because of location, they're in a hospital, so it's too difficult to have that many people in the room, or they just don't want anybody else to know their decisions. And so they decided, or here's the real reason, they think it's more legal, but it's not more legal, right? If they execute it per what the law says, if they follow those instructions, whether it's 2 witnesses or it's 1 notary, it's equal. It doesn't matter. So sometimes we have a reputation in our industry of we make it legal by adding a notarization to something. And that's not true. It's only true if that was the requirement to begin with, right? So if a document, and living wills is an example, it's either in probate code, it might be health and safety code, wherever it is, it gives the parameters for what makes a legal execution of that document. And if they follow those instructions, then they'll have a legal document. If they don't follow those instructions, say if they like on a last will, if they skip the 2 witnesses and they just have it notarized, but the law said, hey, you have to have 2 witnesses, it's not valid. But what's really important for everyone to remember are 2 things. One is, what does the law say about the execution of that document in my state? And find out where that code is so that you know. That way, when someone says, I would just feel better if you notarized it, but you know the law says they need 2 witnesses, that you can help them by letting them know that you can certainly do that, but you can't skip what the law tells them to do. That makes sense.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great question. Thank you, Laura. Susie, I noticed you unmuted. Anything that you'd add to that?
No, Laura, she nailed it. She always does.
They
That's why
call
she's
her the goat
goat.
for a reason. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Love it. All right, Kiki, welcome. Thank you. You're in Atlanta, Georgia. How can we help?
Hi, you guys. Actually, first, Laura, I took your Georgia training, and it was great. I also had my mom take it as well, so I appreciate that. It's very informative. I had a question because I was doing my business plan to start my notary business, and my mom had a concern, and I just wanted to get you guys' thought on it. Of course, I'm doing the mobile notary service.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to also have a place for them to come to the house because obviously we don't have an office. And she was like, oh, no, I don't want to do in-house. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on how to, I guess, navigate that part of it. Because I'm like, are you going to just drive? Like, I mean, we have a garage, but I just don't see, I mean, they can come in and drop, we can set up a little space to have them sign documents and things like that. But starting up, how would you navigate those waters first signing, starting out?
Kiki, my first response is I wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't want people coming to my house.
Okay.
And for second, number one, for some obvious reasons, right? Like I'm an introvert and almost a hermit right now. Just kidding, but pretty close. But I don't want people coming to my house for safety concerns, for all of that. And two, part of the value I bring to the marketplace as a mobile notary is convenience and accessibility that way. So, and that also, what that means, what that translates to is higher fees. So if people are coming to me for $5, I'm not interested in risking my safety, giving my address out for 5, 10, 20. I'm just not. So unless you have a compelling why on why you would want to offer those services from your home, my personal response would probably be don't. Stick to the mobile piece. I mean, that's where our value really comes from. And I'd love to open this up to Laura and Susie as well for any perspective on that as well. Laura, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I do have an office setting that I have. I rent a space in an attorney's office so that if somebody wants to meet in an office setting, or the hiring company wants me to do it in an office setting, I have that availability. But I would not give up my own home to be doing appointments. Yeah, because people already sometimes come to my address, not my home address, but the address of where I use the office setting, and they just show up. And I wouldn't want that happening at my house. People just showing up and saying, "Hey, I'm at your front door."
Okay. So, on your business card, will you just put I have a Google number because I didn't want to put my cell phone out there or her cell phone out there to protect our privacy.
Yeah.
So, of course, we can put like a meet place or something like that. Because I didn't think of putting like an office setting or anything like that just for startup. So that I didn't consider that. So I'm glad I asked that question because we were talking about it last night. She's like, I don't think that. I was like, okay. So don't put that. So I don't have to put necessary address on like when I do put the website, I don't have to put an address or anything like that.
Right. You just put city.
Contact us.
So
services.
Here's the biggest concern is your Google business profile, right? That's going to drive the most business for you from your online visibility. And there's a box to check. So you'll have to enter your address, but you can check a box that says, I do not service customers here. And it will hide your address. So they'll have a general idea where you're at. So Google knows and your customer knows that you're in the general vicinity. But every appointment that you make can be done, it'll be customized, right? They might want you at their home, their office, the Circle K or the QT or whatever Georgia has, that's a gas station, right? If it's a Sunday night at 10 o'clock when they're selling their car, whatever it is. And then you can have, your neighborhood more than anybody else. If there is somebody who says, I don't want you at my house, I'm here on vacation, I just want to meet and do this, you can pick a Starbucks or a Denny's or whatever it is that's your kind of go-to spot where you can send people that way. But you don't have to publish. There's no requirement that I'm aware of. I mean, I'll take that back because when you register for a notary, they're going to need your address. They're going to require that. Sometimes it's public information and that kind of stuff. But for marketing purposes, your customers aren't going to require it. It's going to be by appointment.
Okay.
And then you work that out when you talk to them via text or phone.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, I didn't know if I had to put my address out there. I was like, okay.
No,
okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And here's I like to show all sides of everything, right? There are notaries on today's call that do invite people in. They have a setup for that. They have a home office. They have a front porch. They do that because they usually it's in states where it makes financial sense to do that.
Okay.
But if you're in a state where the notary fee is $1 or $2 or $5 or $10 and you can't charge travel, you may not want that. And as Laura said, one of the biggest complaints from even notaries who choose to do that services at their home is that people just show up. They don't communicate at all. You just assume people are going to call before they knock. or text before they knock, but that doesn't happen when you're servicing customers.
Right. Okay. I'm glad I asked that question. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. I'm glad you asked too. Welcome. Susie, I noticed you unmuted. Anything that you would add to the conversation?
I was just going to say a library tends to be a good place to meet because it's a little more quiet than a Starbucks or a Denny's. You know, it feels a little more professional to some people. And so that's another good option.
Okay.
It's great.
Thank
And
you.
a lot of those public libraries will offer the rooms for free. Some of them charge, but some of them will do for free for just a quick meeting room. So that could be an option for you as well. It just depends on your area.
Okay. I can look into that. Thank you.
Awesome. You're so welcome. All right. We got about 10 more minutes. Phil Shannon.
Hey,
Welcome.
everybody, great to see you.
Yeah.
And I do want to reach out to Susie. I don't think we've ever met, but I do want to thank you on behalf of my 38-year history with Legal Shield. I understand from a very reliable source that we are a new benefit available to the employees of the NNA.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're very proud to be able to represent or help you and your fellow employees. But yeah, it's been a privilege. I've had the good fortune working with Laura and Bill. Laura for way too long. I won't even admit how long it's been. And Bill just long enough. Let's put it that way. But
well, it's
but
nice
it's
to
always,
meet you, Phil.
You're
And
very
congrats.
welcome.
I think that's amazing. Our customers getting linked to all of the great things you offer. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. I appreciate that. But guys, I just want to make you all aware that 5 minutes after the end of TNT, I'll be doing I've got my presentation down to about 20 minutes, so I think you'll all be very impressed. It's much shorter and much sweeter. I'm realizing that people only handle so much at Phil Shannon, and I can relate to that completely. But 5 minutes after TNT, I'll do a little presentation, talk about what we do. Also, I will be in Dallas, Texas, October 3rd. I know I've got a lot of great Dallas people here, people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So reach out to me. Let's figure out how we can get together. Cynthia Jordan from Texas, she asked a very interesting question just a couple people ago. As all of you know who have our membership, those legal questions are questions that you can ask our law firm anytime you have questions. So please take advantage of the legal questions that many of you already are members, but take advantage of the service, use the service. It just will make you much more apt to understand what we do. And I have to reach out to Patrick Manning because I see his Legal Shield banner on his little
It's like
sign
right
here,
there.
as many of you can see. But Patrick, an associate of Laura Biewer, just opened up a brand new group with a bunch of employees, and we're very proud of what Patrick has been able to accomplish from the many great people in notary world. So again, thank you all very much. I will put a little information, and we'll see you all in 5 minutes after TNT. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. I put that link in the chat as well. I think I truly believe that every business owner, small business owner should have a Legal Shield membership for those quick questions. I used to have to pay $1,200 per legal opinion as I was building my business until I found Legal Shield, and it was included in the price. So I highly recommend it if you haven't done so already. Karen, also from Washington. Hello. It's a beautiful day up here. How can we help?
Hey, so I typed it in the chat also to be brief. But real quick, for the durable or the trust delivery packages, do you have a document that you can share that's like a cheat sheet that gives a quick definition of each of the typical documents? Like there's the one called What is a Durable Financial Power of Attorney? That was one of the downloads. And that's like super, for me, going into an appointment that I haven't done before, it would be super helpful, even if I don't have to refer to it, but just to have it there, like as I'm going through to the documents, this is the pour over will, it blah 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 with whatever that's not in your trust. So do you have anything like that that you can share out with us?
So Karen, you're a member of the Certified Notary Trust Delivery Agent program, right? So the question is, do we have a printout that has all the documents on 1 or 2 pages with the brief description?
Not the whole document, but just the description, like pour over will. This covers assets that aren't whatever.
Yeah.
durable financial power of attorney.
So,
This
and how
is
would
a
you
document
use
that's in
that,
place
Karen?
or allow another adult to whatever.
How would you use that? I'm just
Like-
curiosity. Like I'm thinking ahead because we can create anything you want. But is your plan to have that in the appointment and work down it, or is it just a study guide?
Both. I would study it for sure, but to have it handy during an appointment, for me, it's like your index card when you're giving a speech, or when you're giving a presentation, like the little notes section of a PowerPoint presentation.
Just a prompt.
Just something to have in front of me. So like if I fumble and I get nervous and I'm like, I'm supposed to describe briefly to these people what this document means in one sentence, really, really brief. But is there something like that or something that can be created that can just be on hand, even maybe not even looking at it, would just knowing it's there gives me like a little bit like,
A little bit of
okay,
comfort.
I'm fine. Because if I need it, I have it.
Yeah, I got two things. I love this and I appreciate the feedback, and we can get with Laura and Jen and we can probably figure that out. In fact, I think, and this is what I love about this community, I think Kim Flanagan already created this, so it'd be really easy for us to share it. But there's two things I have to say too, right? Just from a coach is number one, if that's something that would make a difference for you, create it yourself. Jump in there. You've got the scripts. We give that to you. You got the documents. You have all the tools at your disposal. So if it's stopping you from moving forward, then jump in there and create it yourself first. Don't wait for me. The other thing I would say is be careful with this too, is sometimes that can create a crutch. I just heard myself. Sometimes that can be a crutch. So you might come to rely on it a little too much, and you don't want to do that either. Laura, what else would you offer on that? That was a little bit of hard love for me.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to kind of go there myself. The thing is that you need to internalize the document. You've got the actual sample of what the document looks like. We also provided a script that has the introduction of what this is, and to pull out from there what you're going to say. This is your pour over will. This is a just in case document. To left it out of the trust. There's another document here that says, hey, anything I didn't put in the trust, it needs to go into the trust. It's very, I do recall us having a couple paragraph script, not one sentence, but
when
a
you're
couple
referring
paragraphs.
to that, okay, when you're referring to that script, do you mean the video that shows you and Bill walking through, like as if
Well,
he's
we had the
the
video,
client?
we had the document, and there was a video of me just talking about it, besides walking through the document, 2 different videos. And I
Okay, I'll go
believe
back
with
and look at
that
those videos.
video where I'm just talking about it, it's a couple of paragraphs that just describes this document. Might not even be a couple,
Okay.
might be 1 paragraph.
Okay.
So it was in 2 different places.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we have all the documents broke out with the script too, Karen, just so you know it's in there. And let me give you a tool too that will change your life when it comes to transcribing videos. It's called otter.ai. And they have a free version.
OTTER?
Yep. OTTER.ai. And you can literally just hit record. You can record your own stuff, but it can record a video. It will transcribe it for you. It'll need some cleanup. I mean, you know how voice to text works, so it'll have some weird stuff in there, but you can clean that up and that can help you right there. And that's life-changing.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Great question. Rachel Piper, welcome up. You're going to be our last question for today. There's no pressure, but this better be an amazing question.
I think I can probably fulfill that.
Oh,
so I finally got my notary commission in the mail.
Oh, all right. You've been waiting a long time.
I've been waiting a few months for that. And I had set up an appointment with someone to do my oath. However, I read my stuff a little more carefully and realized that I cannot go out of my county to get my oath done. In California, it needs to be done in the county. So it's kind of a 2-part question, but really one, I'd like to somebody in the community to be in the area to administer my oath. But 2, and this question might take us over, or we can talk about it later because it's just out of curiosity, is what else might be county bound as far as notarization goes?
What a great question for California specific. And let me first start with the first part. Rachel is in Orange County. Look how she spelled that out. I just love that. That's crystal clear. We're going to like working with Rachel. She knows exactly what she's looking for, and she makes it easy for us. If you are in Orange County and you are a commissioned notary who might be willing to give an oath, let's type your contact in there, reach out to her privately via chat, whatever it might be. Laura, I'm going to pass this over to you. What else might be county bound in California?
Political documents, or somebody is applying because they're going to run for office, and they might have to take an oath related to that document. That typically has to be either in the county or state where they're running. So that I found out about myself when I was asked to handle that. Now,
Laura,
that's the only.
Laura, is it the notary's responsibility to know that, or is it the person running or participating in that? Do you think?
Well, it's the responsibility always of the signer to know what they need. It's really not the notary's responsibility to know that. Although I will tell you, a good notary would be reading instructions, because there's going to be instructions that come with that. But other than that, I am not aware of anything else that is county bound. There could be documents that are state. They will only accept it if it's done in their state. And again, the signer needs to know that. I always look at the instructions for any document. If there's instructions, I want to see them in case there's something weird that has to happen that you wouldn't think of. So my best recommendation to you is always let the document talk to you. Always ask for the instructions, whether they were given verbally or whether they're in writing, because there's no way you can know the requirements for every kind of document ever. It's not. A company could just say, you can only do this because they decided to come up with a company policy. It's not my job to know that. But it is my job to understand what I'm doing. And if I see something that tells me, you know what, I'm not the notary for you, you need this, then I need to speak up, because it doesn't help them and it doesn't serve me to work that will be rejected later.
Yes. Nailed it, Laura. Rachel, is that helpful?
Yes.
What a great question. Okay, so 3 takeaways real quick. 1, no matter your level of experience, please read instructions. And if you have more than 5 years, if you have more than 10 years, I'm speaking to you specifically, because some of the biggest challenges we have as signing company owners is from the most seasoned notaries who no longer read instructions because they think they already know how this stuff goes. But that's not always the case. The document may have instructions. The hiring party may have specific instructions that could make it easier for you to do your job and help all the other processes down the road. And trust me, we remember that stuff when you read instructions and you do things the right way. The second thing is, Rachel specifically, but everybody else, you have amazing resources that have been loaded into that chat. Be sure you save your chat today. You can do that by hitting the 3 dots. Hopefully you know what that means, but you can navigate with your mouse to the 3 dots to save your chat. That will send a file to your computer and you will be able to access all of those resources on there. Finally, number 3, and I'm going to bring Susie up for this just to close us out with a 1-minute summary of the amazing opportunity that everybody has across the country to attend the fall NNA Success Summit with Laura Biewer, the GOAT, me, Bill Soroka, and Jennifer Neitzel, and Brandon Rosenthal. Is it Rosenthal?
Yes.
Did I remember that right? Wow, that just came out of
We
nowhere.
call him B Rose for short.
The B Rose is going to be there talking about findanotary.com too. But Susie, can you wrap up the summit transformation opportunity?
Yes, Bill Soroka is going to be bringing you opportunity knocks. There's never been a better time to be a notary. And then Laura Biewer is going to be talking about show me the money. And then Jen Neitzel, beyond the stamp, talking about building those relationships, laying that foundation so that your business is sustainable through the hard times, the good times, and everything in between. So just amazing content from 3 of the best in the industry. And I've never been more excited about a summit. So
Me too.
We also have what different states do we have represented with those presentations? California. I mean, not it's all going to be across the board national information general, but also experience from different parts of the nation. So
3 different
Texas,
states. Yeah.
Washington, and then before that was Arizona and California. And then Janae, I don't know if I even told you guys, Janae's going to co-host with me. So from Florida.
Awesome.
Yes.
Florida's in the
Yes.
house.
She's gonna be on there just to throw tomatoes at you guys when, just to, what's it called when you heckle? She's gonna be the heckler. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll call it a cameo. She's
Yeah,
making
that's a
a
better
cameo.
term. She's awesome. We love her.
She
So
is.
she's gonna be joining too. So
We love Janae Blatch from Florida Academy of Notaries fan.
yeah.
I love it.
So anyway, I'm excited. I'm just elated actually. I always get very excited about the content because I get excited about how it's current and it's going to give you things that you can walk away from the whole thing and just be ready to take some action. And you guys are big motivators for that and the best experience and expertise. So
thank you so much. We're so excited to be there. And here's the thing. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I have learned this lesson so many times. I will pick up a book that I've read 6 times and read it like I'm reading it for the first time. Because sometimes this is what they mean by you can never enter the same river twice. It's not the same river. You're not the same person. And that is exactly how it is when you're attending a webinar, a class, reading a book, whatever it is. You're in a different place. You hear things differently. So hopefully we will see you on Thursday, October 19th for the Fall NNA Success Summit. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you,
Love
Laura.
it.
I think Laura, oh, there's Laura. Okay, there she is. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Susie, for taking time out of your day to hang out with us. We totally appreciate it.
I just got to keep coming, man. I'm excited. This is great.
You keep that discount going. You come anytime you want. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for growing yourself and your business on a Tuesday. We'll see you same time, same place next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Bye-bye. And thank you, Jen Cooper, for all your help.